loving yourself and truly getting to know yourself will change everything in your life. And here's why I am so obsessed with self-love. This is what I teach, what I live, and what I do believe that awareness and knowing yourself deeply is the key to get whatever you want out of life, honestly. Here's the thing. Most people go through life just maybe knowing what they like and dislike in terms of food preferences, in terms of colors and drinks and those things. And that's amazing. You also should know those things. But when you go a step farther, when you are able to come out of the autopilot, even if it's just for a little bit, and start asking yourself some maybe hard questions, because if you never did this before, it might be hard at the beginning. But when you start asking yourself these questions about what is that you actually want out of life, and here what I mean is, what is the work that you want to be doing? What are the relationships that you want to have? How are they? Who's the people that you want to have around? Friends, family, partner? What type of people do you want to have around you? Do you want to make an impact? What kind of impact do you want to make? Do you want to have kids or not? Do you want to get married or not? Where do you want to live? Do you want to live in many places? What are the things that you love doing? Out of pleasure, not because you need to. What are the hobbies that you want to embrace? What are the things that you want to try in life? What are the places you want to go if you are into traveling? What are the abilities that you want to learn? What are the things that you want to be better at? When you start being honest with yourself, when you start doing the work of getting to know yourself and to face the fact that your current life might be really different from the life that you want. It might be. In most cases, it is. And you are able to love yourself enough to accept that you are here and you want to be in this more or less different place. But you love yourself enough to accept, okay, this is where I am. This is who I am today. And if I'm really honest, this is where I want to be. This is the person that I want to be. This is the life that I want to have. How can we build that bridge? How can we close that gap? And awareness, self-awareness is the first thing. Because when you start knowing yourself better, then you're going to realize that maybe a lot of the things that you have in your life right now, you have them because at some point someone told you you should have them. You should do them. It might be family, it might be society in general, it might be a cultural thing, whatever that is. But a lot of us are carrying all these silent expectations that other people have about us, about what we should do, what we should be, the things that we should accomplish, this like checklist of things that we should be doing with our lives. And if we don't pay attention, if we don't become aware of that, if we don't get to know ourselves, it's really hard to realize that those things might not be your desires. And imagine what a waste of a life to just do the things that everyone else tells you instead of trying and doing the things that you actually love, that you actually desire, the things that you know you're meant for. And it's a really hard place to be once you are aware of that, because awareness without action, it leads to so much frustration, to so much hopelessness, because you see it but you don't know what to do about it. And here is where all this mindset and self-love work comes in. If you want to have a different life, you have to become a different person. If you realize that what you are doing right now is not what you want to be doing, the place that you live is not the place that you want to live, the relationships you have are not the relationships that you want to be doing, then it's time to do something different. Because here's the thing, when you start acting differently, when you start behaving like the person that you want to become, when you know yourself deep at your core, things like setting boundaries, they get easier. They get easier because you know what you're aiming for. You know what you desire. And when you know what you desire, it's easier to see what things are in alignment with that and which things are not. It's easier to see, it's not easier to do, because of course, like all these things include having hard conversations, include feeling lost, include crying yourself at night, and all those things, like I live them all. But knowing yourself is going to open up new ways of thinking, new ways of feeling. It will allow you to lovingly start realizing what are all the limitations, the limiting beliefs, the stories that you keep telling yourself about how you're not enough, how you don't deserve it, you are not good enough, pretty enough, tall enough, young enough, like all those things that we tell ourselves. You'll be able to identify them, and you'll be able to have the capacity and the love for yourself to work on them and to change them. Because now you have a goal, now you have a vision, now you are honest with your desires. It's not, self-love is not just about self-care. A lot of people confuse self-love with self-care and with, oh yeah, it's just like going to spa days and doing a face routine and bubble baths and things like that. That's amazing. Please do it. But that's not self-love. Self-love is accepting, it's being honest with yourself first. It's accepting exactly what you are right now and all the things that you did in your life up until this point that brought you exactly here. It's being able to recognize and accept that while knowing that you want something different, that you want something better, that you want something else, and working towards that. But not from this hating, obligation place, because I'm sure if you are here, you are someone who wants to do things, who wants to get things. Sorry. I'm sure that you have big dreams. But if you don't work for them, and if you keep living from those same old stories and being hard on yourself and being unloving towards yourself, it's really hard to change that way. It's way more painful to change that way than to do it from love, than to do it from actually being your own cheerleader, your biggest fan, your biggest support. Because if you are not the first one rooting for yourself, how can you expect others to do that for you? You have to be the love of your life first. You have to be the person that can support you and hold you first to go get all the things that you desire, to go become that woman. That's why, that's the core of self-love. That's why I keep on repeating that self-love is the number one thing that you need to have in order to get a beautiful life, in order to attract everything that you desire. That's what I would love to see, like women loving themselves so hard that the whole world has no choice but to reflect that back to them, to reflect all that love, all that care, and to bring them people, circumstances, places, everything that match that frequency, that match that self-love. And if you're looking at this, watching this, and just nodding along, that's the work I live for, that's the work I do with my clients. If you are interested or curious about it, you can either leave a comment or send me a message and we can talk about it. Have a beautiful day, and remember to always love yourself first and foremost.